Hello, hello. Hello there. I think I'm here on my own. Okay, that's the computer all set up. Get me a cup of tea. Just jiggle that down a little bit. There we go. Hello there, Mr. Julie. It's only you and me here. Oh no, apparently there's 11 watching. There we go. Hello there, Dee in Florida, and Angie, good morning. Well, good morning to you. Good evening to us. I've even painted my nails, look, for the occasion. Hello there, Missy Tracy. Oh, sorry. Hello there, our Tracy. Oh, I'm in need of this cup of tea. Hello there, Nikki. West coast of Canada. It's breakfast time. Hello there, Deb from Bristol. I've only just switched on the camera, Janet, so you're not late. Thank you very much, Dee. Hello, Spanner. I think our Tracy is nicer, Julie. Oh, dear. Hiya, Natalie. Hi, Wendy. Hi there, Carrie. From Liverpool. Hi there, Karen and Claire. No, I've only just switched on, Claire. I just got back into your house last night. I take it you're in Texas. Hi there, Jan. Oh, can you, Tracy? Can you really boot people off? Ooh. Hi there, Maureen. Ooh, be scared, Julie. Be very scared. Oh, no, you say no. Don't need to hear about 6 inches of snow. Ugh. Don't like the snow. Good morning there, Milady Simple Elegance. Or Christine. Hi there, Catherine from... Hang on. No, I can't say it. Mississippi. I was wondering where you were. So I was only about a minute late. Can you really, Tracy? Ooh, that's handy to know. Good morning there, Kim. She's one of the moderators, Carey. She's in the UK. Oh, one of the moderators on the Facebook group. Hello there, Paulie. Hello, everyone. So happy we're all together. Happy as can be. Tracy doesn't like me singing. Good morning there, Paulie. I'm in Kentucky. I've been staying with my sister while my electric was out. Big snow and ice storm here. Yeah, it's kind of all over the news a bit, Claire. Fraud, so. What are you on about, Maureen? You saying someone's fraudulent? Dinner time in the Netherlands. Hello there, Lydia. Afraid, I mean, misspelling again. Yeah, Tracy don't like my singing very much. I think it's the noise reverberates around her ears all wrong. Hi there, Kathy. Oh, it's been really chilly here today, Paulie. Take more water with it. I like that. Can I just say that if you're setting up a naughty step or a naughty corner, there was a few people that fancied joining you. Kept putting in the comments, I want to be in the naughty corner. I'll make a start in a minute. I'll just give it another couple of minutes just to see if anyone else is going to join. Yeah, but it upsets Tracy's hearing, so I'll try not to do it too much when I know Tracy's definitely watching. I know it's definitely getting full in that naughty corner. Going to work on catching up with the prompts today. Oh, don't worry about catching up, Claire. Just do it at your own leisure. In fact, let me just have a little chat about a couple of things just whilst we wait to see if anyone else joins us. So, a couple of things are that some people are taking the prompts literally. And it's like, you don't have to do that. It's really a case of you do whichever prompts you want. If there's some prompts that you don't like, don't do them. Find your own. Don't take it all quite so in its literal sense. Sometimes you have to think outside the box. So it's like the celebrity one. Everyone, you know, well, not everyone, but a few people have gone, oh, but you know, I don't watch movies. I'm not into them kind of celebrities. Well, or the ones that I want, they're now past, and so I can't invite them. Of course you can. It's pretend. And you know, before TV, before films, who were the celebrities then? You know, so it really is a case of pick whoever you want. You know, don't feel that you've got to stick to just modern day folks or people who are alive. Really, you know, just choose whoever. I think, Maureen, aren't you going for Edith Holden? You know, Country Diary of an Edwardian Lady. Let me just check, because someone's just commented on something on Facebook and I'm wondering if they're not able to find the YouTubey doings. Let me just check. If they are, this thing on. Let me just reply. Yes, it is on now. Oh, too many things on my keyboard. There we go. She'll have to find it. Oh, hang on, lost me. Where's my blooming cursor gone? Let me lift them up and off. There we go. No, sorry Paula, they're not going to come. So oh, it was Julie who was doing Edith Holden. Okay, I couldn't remember now. We went through that many names on our moderator chat yesterday. Now you don't have to watch the replay, Tara. We've only just started. We've only just finished saying hello to everyone. So yeah, some people are taking it real literal, and it's like, that's not what this is about. It's about finding your own interpretation of something. Okay. There was something else I was going to say as well. What was it? Yeah, as I say, I mean, like, if there's ones that come up that you don't like, don't do them. You don't have to. Don't feel that you've got to keep on track with every video that I'm doing. It's lovely that some of you are able to do that, but don't feel pressured. There's no time scale on this. I mean, it ends on the 28th of Feb, but that's from my point of view, it finishes on the 28th of Feb. If you carry on working on it into March, that, you know, that's fine. If you carry on working on it into July and August of next year, Julie. Oh, no. Sorry. That's fine too. It's a good job you haven't got to judge the challenges. Well, I have to tell you, Paula, yesterday I actually said to the moderators, because we have a moderator chat thing, I actually said, why do I feel when I'm commenting on everyone's pictures that they're putting up that I feel like I'm judging, like giving marks, like being at school? And Julie actually said, because you're the teacher. So I said, that's it then, I'm just going to go and mark them all with A's and B's from now on. Oh dear. What's your journal every day? I'm fairly new at journaling, but you're so inspirational. Thank you very much, Brenda. That's very kind of you. Yeah, I tend to just wait for people to come and join us, and obviously I think it's very polite to just sit and say hello to everyone before I start ignoring the chat. Hi Jessica, even though I'm not making this, I'm learning so much watching. Thank you. Your journal's turning out lovely. Your album, sorry, is turning out lovely, by the way. You're not getting A star or A plus, Julie. There are some great things coming out. I have to tell you, I have been amazed actually on 2 levels, well 3 levels, but I don't want to talk about the 3rd one just yet. But in terms of what's being produced and being shown on the Facebook group has been amazing. And secondly, the variation of ideas has been just great, which for me is what it's all about, you know. It's about taking something simple and then interpreting it to suit your own needs, to suit your own stash, to suit your own ability, to suit your own style, to suit your own colours. You know, that to me is what it's about. It's not about copying me. It's not about taking my ideas, but it's about taking the ideas and utilising them as an inspiration source. That's what this is about. And I'm hoping that some of the things that you've learnt throughout this journal are kind of inspiring you as to what would go into, and I'm going to do this and I hate doing this, into what you would call a normal journal. All right, so there are some things in this that you could actually utilise. Or maybe at the end you could give us a couple of alternative prompts. No, I'm not doing alternative prompts, no. Sorry, I don't know who that was. Hang on. Let me just scroll back up. Who was that? Kim. No, because you know, I'll be here forever and a day because I don't know how many prompts some people are not doing. And there are other things coming up where I will need to use some of those prompts anyway. So, no, I think you're all big enough to go and make your own decisions, and you could even leave that page just entirely blank and just go and write on it, you know, your experience of what you found doing the journal. I'm sure you'll come up with something. You've all got enough nous about you to do something. I've missed watching your videos. Whilst I was at my sister's, I went to an antique store yesterday and found a vintage pair of pinking shears. I just can't tell you how happy that made me. Nice one. Okay, I'm going to put my tea to one side. Hang on, another slurp. Because I don't want to keep you forever. Forever and ever. So as you can see, hi there, Joey. I haven't finished my 20th of February one. That's as far as I got. I ended up going to bed because I have to tell you, this is actually quite tiring, doing these daily videos. So I was tired yesterday, so I just went to bed and watched a film. So that was as far as I got. So I did my smushing on my background. and I did some stenciling, and that was as far as I got. I think I know what I'm going to do with it. But yeah, I thought that this kind of colours went well with this page. But yeah, that's as far as I got with my 3 things, which was the stencil, the die cuts and the punches. I think I'm going to add a tag to it, but I'll probably talk to you about it Monday or Tuesday. So yeah, but I thought that those colours went really sort of all nicely together. Okay, let's make a start, because as I say, today, I'll bring this down a touch. Today, I'm going to go through 2 prompts with you, because I want to leave, come on down. I want to leave the 28th of February, I want to leave open, because I want to talk about, you know, decorating the cover, excuse me, and also what we're going to be doing on this front page. Well, it's not just about doing the tutorial, but I mean, obviously I made a list beforehand of all the things that we were going to do, and I had a little bit of a vague idea for each of them. But obviously there's the making of the video, so you have to get everything together so then you can make the video. And although it's only a 10 to 15 minute video that you guys are watching, it takes quite a while to make that 10 to 15 minute video sometimes. And then obviously I then need to do this page, so that in tomorrow's video I could then show you what I've done and then go on to the next prompt together with some ideas. So a 10 to 15 minute video for this probably took a good half day, sometimes a day, to do, in terms of prepping, making, doing the video, editing that, uploading it, blah de blah de blah. Oh, thank you very much, my eye for colour. So yeah, so it's actually become almost like a full-time job. Working on this from, like, you know. Anyway, enough of that. Let's get on to today's prompt. And I'm going to turn my oven off as well, because I've gone a bit warm. The oven's right behind me. I've had it switched on when I did my dinner earlier. Well, it is a full-time job. I mean, this is my full-time job, because I had to take early retirement due to ill health from work. So I made this my full-time profession, which is why I really appreciate it when people make a comment on the video, give me a thumbs up. Oh, of which, by the way, for those, there's 2 people who have been regularly giving me thumbs down on these Rocky Journal videos. You might want to go back last week and the week before, because you missed a couple. I think you've missed about 3 where you haven't given me the thumbs down, so you're slacking. Okay. So yeah, it's really appreciated when you share either the video with either friends or family or on groups. But I do understand the fact that there are a lot of groups that you can't Oh, thank you very much, Karen. That's very kind of you. Thank you. Thank you. In fact, Tracy, could you just make a note of Karen's name and the amount for me on a piece of paper, and we'll catch up later, because I really need to keep a check on people who are doing this now, because I always forget people's names and stuff, and I'd like to say a personal thank you another time. So if you wouldn't mind, Tracy, thank you. So yeah, so due to, thanks Trace, so yeah, due to ill health, I had to pack in work, and I was already doing this part-time anyway, so I thought, you know what, sod it, let's just do it full-time. So this is my profession, this is what earns me money to pay my bills. It doesn't always earn me enough, to pay my bills, so I do struggle on a bit sometimes. But if you share photographs of your rock your journals that you've been making, it then helps to encourage people to come and have a look at the videos for themselves, which then increases the numbers, which then helps to create a little bit of extra revenue from people watching the video. So I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. Okay, today's prompt, we will get there in the end. We will. Okay, let's ink this little beauty up. Oh, and also Doe Bailey passed a comment about she was happy to see my ring on this other finger. Oh, thank you very much, Catherine. That's really nice of you. And you too, Julie. Thank you. I wore it on this finger the other day because I've had to start watching my diet because my diabetes went a bit and my liver went a bit. So I've had to watch what I've been eating, and I've managed to lose a stone and 1 pound so far. So I actually, this ring is now quite loose on my little finger, so I tried it on this finger the other day and it fits, but it's just a tad too tight still. So I reckon another half a stone and I'll be able to get that on my other finger. Okay, today's prompt, we're going to get there. We will, I promise. Draw my little screw heads on there. And today's date is the 21st of the 2nd, 21. I had to think then. 21/2, 21/2. Thank you, ladies. That's very kind of you. Okay, so today's prompt is make... Oh, nearly spelt it wrong then. Make a mosaic. Okay. So, yeah, it's £14 in a stone. And I think I've lost 15. Don't ask me what that is in kilograms, because that's a foreign language to me, is that. So let's stick this in. So make a mosaic, and it's a good job. Now, I didn't actually plan this, but it's a good job that I did it for the 21st, and in fact the 22nd works out really well as well, because of this being the inchy squares. The mosaic on this page is going to turn out, you know, it's going to blend really well with this. So yeah, it's no good telling me, Tracy, I won't remember that. It's a bag of sugar. I know that much, it's a bag of sugar. Couple of pound for a bag of sugar. Okay, let me move this off to the side because that's going to get in the way, I think. Oh. So what you need for a mosaic, the thing is, you can do, as I've said before, it's your journal. You rock it how you want. So you can do something really, really simple or really, really complicated. That is entirely up to you, all right? With the mosaics, you can do little squares or you can do irregular shapes, all right? You could use up your all your scraps. So, you know, like with all your... Hang on, where's mine gone? Where hast thou gone? Oh, it's not it. That's not it. That's not it. Oh, it's there. So I've got, you know, all my paper scraps in here. So you could use those and cut all of these up if you wanted to. So, you know, you could use those, or you could use magazine pages. Now then, all you want is a simple outline or a simple shape. So you could actually go and get one of your, you know, like a die. So you could die cut a flower, you could die cut an oval, you could die cut a heart, and then add your mosaic squares or irregular shapes on top of that. As I say, you can make this as simple. Ooh, it's the bag falling over. You can make this as simple or as complicated as you so wish. So as you can see here, I've got a basic outline. Now this is on just a simple piece of paper, so I'm actually going to attach it to a piece of card to just make it that little bit firmer for me to be able to utilise. And if we look, we've got a sunset and some hills. So I found these two magazine pages which has got sort of sun type colours in it, and these could be the hill type colours. So you can use pattern paper or plain paper, it's entirely up to you. Now I'm going to do mine as irregular shapes rather than regular square cut shapes. But if I wanted to do square cuts, then I would cut off the strip and I would decide on the width of it, okay? The smaller the pieces, the more sticking that you'll have to do. But you don't want them so big that you then can't accentuate the shape that you are filling in. So like here, we've got a very curvy shape. So if you've got too big a piece, then you won't actually see that curve very well. If you've got too small a piece, then you've got to put loads and loads and loads on to be able to fill the shape, and you'll be there forever, okay? So I'm going to go with round about 1/4 of an inch to start with, just so as I can get a little bit of a feel for it. And you don't have to be good at cutting. You don't have to cut this out on your paper trimmer unless you really want to. Now, if I was doing it as squares, obviously I need to cut them at an equidistant width all the way along that strip to make them into squares. But if I wanted to do an irregular shape, then what I would do is cut off a wedge and then fold it up a few times and then just hack into it. So let's just cut down that fold, and we'll cut down that fold, and then just cut all irregular shapes, some small, some large. Okay, so we've got a few there to be getting on with. Let me just stick this to a piece of card and I'll feel happier then. Just going in my scraps bag. That big enough. Oh, look at that, look perfect. Okay, let me stick this on here. By the way, I'm not watching what's going on in chat at the minute, so I'm presuming Tracy and Maureen and Julie and Natalie are keeping you all in check. So I'm just going to glue this on with some call-out onto that card, and it just makes it a little bit sturdier. The other thing that I would end up doing as well is I would put something a little bit, oh, I've got a double sheet there, something a little bit tacky on the back. I've got two. I only want one. There we go. Stick that down. So if I get my micropore and then just hold that down, either on the top or underneath, to just hold it to prevent it moving about too much. And a little tip that I learnt from a video I was watching today, which I quite enjoyed, was she got a Pritt stick and a pencil. And this is one that's slightly running out, and she dabbed it in there. I don't know if this is going to work because I've not tried it. She dabbed it in there so that the pencil picked up a bit of glue. works, look, magic. So, and again, it doesn't matter what glue you use, but you want it to be something that can, in fact I want to do that, don't I, because I'm going to run off the edge. Something that's going to stay, oh, I'm doing me, oh look, I'm getting carried away with myself. I'm doing my hills, I'm not doing my sun. You want something that's going to stay a little bit sticky for a little while. Ta-da! So look, with it being angled, look, that will just sit in there very nicely. Thank you very much. Okay, pick up another bit. Woo! I'll have you going down there. Now I'm going to leave a little bit of a space in between each piece, and I'm going to leave a bit of a space in between the piece and the black line so that it remains outlined. Oh, oh, I've run out, come on. So you can see that this could end up coming together quite quickly. Oh, it's picking up more than one now. It's getting clever. Okay, maybe that one in there. So, as I've said, if all you want to do is just a simple heart shape, or even just a simple square, how many did I want to pick up? Oh dear. Bit keen and eager they were. Then, you know, that's fine. If you want to do something that's a little bit more decorative, like a little mini picture like this one, and just have a think about the colours that you're going to need, where you're going to source those colours from, and so on and so forth. And then it doesn't matter about overhanging the edge, because you can go and trim those bits off if you so wish. And then if you need a real little tiny piece, like I'm going to probably need, and I can't lift it up to show you, but in here I'm going to need a slightly thinner, longer piece, which I might not have. I mean, I might do, but I might not. And so I could then go and trim one of those down. In fact, well, that, oh, look at that look. Perfecto. Oh, sorry, wobbling camera. And it just starts to, you know, form itself really. So if I put that a little bit further down, I can see that I'm going to need a little bit of an odd shape in there. Okay, so oh, what have you done to your hands, Rita? Oh, someone's just given me 10. Thank you very much. So yeah, so you can see it actually comes together quite quickly, and it's one of those that you haven't got to massively think about it. It's another quite relaxing art form for you to create, and it's also something that you could do with the kids. So if the grandkids come to visit, you know, get them to chop up loads of magazines, get them to do all the chopping up. That's a point. And then you don't have to do any chopping up, then they can do it all for you. You can buy stickers that are already pre-cut into shape, so you could use those if you wanted as well. I'm not going to do any more on this because I think it's a case of you need to have a play. You need to experiment and have a play. I mean, you know, like my smushing papers that I showed in yesterday's video, you could chop these up, so that could be my other hill. So have a think about the design that you want to create. Have a think about what size you want to do it. Have a go at just cutting out a simple shape like a heart or a square. Practice on that first before you maybe go on to do a picture. But as you can see, it really is quite easy to do. Unfortunately, they are numb and I have a trigger finger, so hands are on rest. Well, hopefully they'll get better soon and you'll soon be back at it. Okay, so yeah, it's a great way of utilising all your scraps up. I mean, there are some that would look just great done with maybe book pages or coffee dyed paper, you know, keep them in sepia colours. Some would look stunning in that kind of effect. Now then, the other thing that you can then do on top of this to make them look like glass is you could then use the likes of your Glossy Accents. So when you think of mosaics that you see on display anywhere, they're always that little bit shiny, so they're either made with glass or they're made with ceramics, and they have a sheen to them. So you could glossy accent either individual pieces, so like on this image here I could do the sun, so once I've done the mosaics in there of the sun, I could then glossy accent over the top of that to help to lift it and give it a little bit of extra dimension. Now I haven't got it to hand, but there's no reason why you couldn't use clear nail varnish as well, again to just give it that little bit of a shine. You haven't got as much control over this though for its spreading, so again you could have a little bit of an experiment, and if you do a little square of it, paint the whole thing with nail varnish even in between all the spaces and that, and then see what that looks like. Then you've got a different idea again altogether. Okay, so have a play, experiment with all the different bits and pieces, and if your imagination takes you off on a tangent somewhere else completely different but along the same lines, bloody marvellous is all I can say. So have a think about what you want to do. Simple shape to start with, then maybe go on to an image, work out what size, look at the colours that you've got, blah 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 de blah blah blah, because I'm repeating myself, okay, but you get the general idea, and then you could seal over the top of it with either your Mod Podge or some other liquidy glue like a PVA glue or something like that to help to seal it, to stop the little pieces from flying off, because invariably it's very difficult to catch each of these individual pieces. And then you could trim it down to trim off all those excess bits that are overhanging. You could then glue that to another piece of card, which would then help to frame it, and then put that in your journal. Okay, so that for me, just get it back out, we'll be going on this one on page 21. Now if I use little squares rather than, you know, these unusual angled pieces, the squares then will actually tie in with the squares on this page as well. My 1.25 inches is so it all sorts of ties in. So does that give you some inspiration to have a go at doing a little bit of mosaic just whilst I have a slurp on my cup of tea? So I've got to be careful, my chest isn't too brilliant at the minute, so I just need to keep my chest lubricated. Like I keep saying all along, you know, this is about just having a bit of fun, having a bit of a play. Just take your mind off all the rubbish that's going on in life. Take you away from the reality. Focus on something that's just for you. It's not for anyone else, it's just purely for you. Use whatever you want, Kelly. Oh, sorry, Kellyanne. I mean, I've seen some people cut up CDs, but I know that they are really difficult to cut, and sometimes that holographic is a film, and so it peels off. It can also be sharp, but you know, within safety, think about your safety reasons of it. If it's something that you can cut up and use, go for it. You know, like, this is what I say, like, it's a prompt. You take that prompt, you do with it what you want. I'm only giving you an idea. Okay? So, you know, take the prompt and do with it as you will. These are only ideas. Yeah, fabric. It's another good idea. Not quite so easy to control. You might need to put some kind of violin on the back to give it a little bit of sturdiness, maybe. Or even attach, glue it to a piece of paper and then chop it up. That might make it easier to handle. Yeah, you see, I can't use burlaps on you. I'm allergic to it. The fibres. I even used the string the other day, and I had to wear my face mask because the fibres were coming off it, getting into my throat, and it was setting my breathing problem off. So I can't use it. Okay, so that's prompt number 21. Let me just clear my decks a little, because I'm going to hand that one over to you. And then we're going to go on to tomorrow's prompt, the 22nd. So we're now always going to be running a day behind until next week. Or yeah, day behind. Yeah, because tomorrow's the 22nd, but I'll be doing the 23rds. Oh, it gets too complicated. Don't hand it over to Julie. And they're off. Delete, 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 delete. Julie, oh no, that's me confused then. Okay, this is my page for the 22nd of February, and this is the one where I did the colouring pages, and I showed you that I added them to black cardstock, added some glitter on top using the glittery pens, and made them into usable items that I would normally utilise within a journal. So I've got an envelope which I made into a pocket, little notebook, some tags, and these were some tiles that I created with them as well. Okay, now what I have for this page, let me put that away, getting my pen out. Oh, inker up. Bearing in mind that I said that my pages matched really well with their opposites for what I've chosen, has anyone got any idea what I'm going to do on this page? Just whilst I ink this up, and let's just see if anyone can guess. See, look, they're so busy talking. Look, no one's listening to me now. They're all busy on chat. Don't let them know that I'm watching it and that I've realised, will you? Oh, someone's listening to me. Thank you, Kellyanne. No, not bookmarks, not pocket, not chalk faces. Oh, Nikki could be right as well. Not altered envelopes. Oh, Kay could be right. Diana could be right. So, oh well, didn't do that screw very well. This one, this prompt is Zentangle. That's a longer word than I was expecting. Let me just scrub that one out and start that one again. Move it further across. I do like things centralised. Oh, I think this might take a little bit of rubbing out. There we go. That was sound effects, by the way. Let's start over here. Zentangle Doodles. Okay, so we're going to have a Zentangle Doodle. Mainly because I've called it a Zentangle Doodle because it's a bit of a mixture of the two. Glue. Ooh, stick it in. So it's a little bit of doodling and filling it up with some Zentangle shapes. Let me put that on there. And put you under there. Okay, so yeah, so the Zentangling fits in beautifully with this page over here, so I was really chuffed about that. I didn't plan it or anything much. Now, I'm going to show you this book first. So, in the Compendium Journal, which I started, and I will be working on that more in March, because obviously this has kind of taken over a bit. I showed this in the first video for that, and this is my Pinterest ideas book. So this is a book that I got from my local hobbycraft store. It was something like £3 or £4, and what I've done is I save so many things on Pinterest or on YouTube, and I never go back and go and have a look. I'm more inclined to have a look through my book. So I started printing off some ideas off of Pinterest and sticking them in this book. I even started doing a bit of doodling, look. So there's bits of doodling on here. And I've got in here somewhere, because I've tried to section them, there we go. So this is my Zentangly page. Oh, my pen. Yes, for those of you that haven't seen it before, it's a Pilot Frixion Pen. You do have to be careful. Hang on, let me put my hand underneath so it'll focus. There you go. You do have to be careful because it reacts to heat. This on the end here is a little rubber so that you can rub it out, so that if you make a mistake you can rub it out, but it does react to heat. So if you live in a warm climate, it will eventually disappear because the heat will just make it go. Because it reacts to friction. That's why it's called Frixion Pen. Okay, so let me just have a slurp of tea. Just bear with. I've just spilt it all down my jumper. Oh God, it's got. My mouth's big enough. You wouldn't think that I could miss it, but I did. Oh God, hopeless. Oh God, how the hell did I do that? Miss my own mouth. Okay, so in here, I've got wet boobies. In here I've got some ideas for Zentangles. So I've tried to print off some of the little designs that you can fill some of the areas with. Carol will show you what. Hey, what? Can I translate to English rubber? Is it razor? Yes, it is. And a jumper is a sweater. Yes, it is. It's you lot. You foreigners from over in America, you need to learn to speak English properly. Oh dear. So these are some of the filler patterns, okay? This is an example of if you'd got a square, you split it into 4 and then you split it into 16 parts, how you then can fill that space with more and more pattern added to it. These are some examples. Okay, I'm going to show you an example in a minute, a bigger example. So this one shows two elephants which are a basic outline shape, and they've both been filled in slightly differently to each other. The same here with the sea turtles. So I'll lift these up closer for you to have a look at, and you can see that it's basically it's an outline which is then filled with decorative bits. Okay, show you the turtles. Okay, so that's a little bit of Zentangling. Now, I do like doing Zentangling, and I don't do it, but I don't do it very often. And these are two pieces that I started to do. Now, normally when you see a lot of Zentangle, you see them using a fine black pen on a white paper. There's no reason why you can't do it with a fine white pen on a black paper, or, as in this instance, on these two canvases that I've done here. I painted the background with acrylics, and then I've used a gold metallic pen to just start doodling. Okay, so it's basically doodling. So you have a shape, you can fill it with all sorts of different little patterns, and I'll show you a close-up so that you can get an idea of the sorts of things. And it's really just filling the space that you've created with pattern. Okay, and this is another one that I started, another one started and not finished, and this was with the purple background, and this one I used a silver pen on it. Okay, and I tend to find that using the Posca pens are probably about the best, the most reliable, and you can get them both fine nibbed and quite thick nibs as well. For something like this, you probably need the finest nib that you can get. Okay, so that gives you a little bit of an idea. So I'm going to show you how to go about doing it. All right, that one's my favourite, the red one. The red one's my favourite. I really need to get it finished, really, because I like mandalas as well. So they're another one of my favourites, are mandalas. You know, like this sort of, anyway, Indian style as well. I like. Okay, so because we're getting to such a stage now in our journal, like I've said previously, where it's becoming quite bulky and difficult to do these things on. So like the mosaic one, I would do it on a separate sheet and then stick it in. The same for the Zentangle. I'm going to do it on a separate sheet and then I'll stick it in once it's done, because it's just getting too bulky to be able to draw on here quite easily. Now, you, again, with this Zentangling, when I found my bits and pieces, you can go as far, as intricate as you like. I know that there's quite a few Zentanglers that are doing this. So, you know, I would expect that they'll do something slightly more intricate. If you're new to it, there's a couple of things that you can do. One is to do like the inches. Just draw out the squares. In fact, let me just get a piece of paper out, because it's easier to do it on fairly smooth paper. So you could do like the inches, and so you could do a square. Not a very good square, this, but it's a square-ish kind of shape, all right? And then you could fill it with doodling patterns, okay? So you could do a series of various size circles until you filled the space. And then when it comes to the edges, only doing part circles, all right? So you could do a collection of these. So again, let's do another ridiculously shaped square. So this time let's do a series of diagonal lines. Then we could add, here we go, loop de loop, here we go, loop de lay. Okay, so we could add some loops on there. This looks like a set of teeth now. Okay, you could do little shapes off them. Okay, so it's really just a case of filling a shape with all sorts of different patterns. You could do ziggy-zaggy shapes, you could do lines through that. I mean, the list is endless, and as you saw from those pictures that I just showed you in my Pinterest book, there's loads, you know, and that's why it's handy to have a little library of those kinds of things. So when it comes to doing a picture, you've got a little bit of a library that you can refer to, okay? So if you're new to Zentangling, you could do that. You could make yourself a little library of some Zentangle patterns, okay? The other thing that you can do, and this is the one that's going to go in my journal, so I'm just going to cut down this page a little because I've got several of these books and I've just taken one of the books apart so that I've got some pages that I can use as spares. Now I like to use fairly fine pens, so I use either a 0.5 or a 0.3 pen. So 0.5 is slightly thicker than the 0.3, but the basic outline shape I'm going to do with a slightly thicker pen. You could use a Stabilo permanent marker pen, but a fine nibbed one. So I'm just going to do, whee, and you don't have to do the sound effects either. So all I've done there, look, is I've just drawn a squiggly line, and then I'm going to do other squiggly lines that cross over the top. So that this is a little bit like that doodling that we used to do at school in the back of our school books, where we used to fill it all up with shapes. Okay, and then until you've got to a point where you think, actually, yeah, quite like that. But leave yourself decent enough size shapes so that you've got enough of a space to fill some pattern in with it as well. And in fact, if I do one more down there, I think I'm about done. Okay, so as you can see, I've just drawn loads of random shapes. Okay, just going to use this pen for a moment. So I would then go and fill each of these with a bit of a pattern. Now, it's not the sort of thing that you're probably going to complete in an evening, all right? It's the sort of thing that you need to switch your brain off from thinking of all those woes and worries, because otherwise you'll mess it up. Put on a little bit of relaxing music, go into Zen mode, you know, go into that Zen mode, which is why it's called Zentangle. Get yourself calmed down and then just doodle, right? And you'll find that your brain will actually physically start to relax. If you reach a point when you're doodling, when you're like, I'm getting stressed out because I don't know what I need to do next, either look at your reference book, see if there's a pattern that you can think of, or leave it, put it away, because otherwise you'll mess it up. And there's going to be nothing worse than you messing it up. So when you reach that point, put it to one side and come back to it another time, okay? So I would probably start off with, have a look, let's have a do at some sort of tear shapes. Because they will kind of tessellate inside each other. I could even make some sideways on. You can see I'm just filling up the shape. Just mindlessly, you'll all fall asleep soon, mindlessly drawing. Okay, so I've kind of filled that shape. Oh, hang on, there's lots of text up there now. What's that say? I was trying to be quiet, watch and just listen, but that really had me giggling. Oh, I don't know what Tracy said now. I'm going to have to go back and go and have a look. Thank you for starting me on my journaling journey. Think yourself lucky, Doe. Don't know what Doe put. Julie, I'm the new kid on the block in the moderators, Doe. Hello. Thank you so much for all you teach us. Love your encouragement too, because my mind is so full of ideas that I haven't started the projects. Gonna relax my brain. Yeah, this is our Tracy, not that Tracy. I just peeked at Pinterest. This is really cool. Never heard of it, but looks like fun. Yeah, you can even buy colouring books now that are all Zentangles. But then once I've done that, I can then keep adding to it as much as I want. So I could put circles all in the space in between each of those teardrop shapes. I could fill in the teardrop shapes with maybe zigzags. It really is just a case of, just like when you were at school and you used to doodle. Let's put circles in this one. There's loads of videos on YouTube about Zentangles, and it was the Zentangle.com website. They go into explaining what's the difference between Zentangle and doodling. To me, there's not a lot of difference, but don't tell them I said that, because it's all just doodling. Apparently one's more mindful and organised, whereas the other one isn't. Something like that anyway. So let's just go into a slightly smaller area. So I could fill this with really big squircles, and I could colour in between. One of the things you need to be careful of when you're doing circles that you're going to colour in between, you need to remember that the space that will be left will be inside that pen line. Now that sounds pretty obvious, all right? So you'll be left with that space. When you start to colour it in, you are amazed at how small your circle actually starts to look once you've coloured in all the background. Okay, so if I do a small circle here, and then a larger one next to it, and a half a one there. Okay, so can you see that little one that I did right there? So if I start to colour in around it, it's amazing how small it actually starts to look. So if you're going to draw circles and then colour in the background of them, be mindful of the fact that you might need to do slightly bigger circles. What's that, Doe? You should read, Carol. I just asked if I could use my colouring book. We are just talking amongst ourselves. I didn't know, Julie. Okay. Yeah, I mean, you know, if you think about it, you're making notes in a class or in an office at a meeting or whatever. So you're going, yeah, that's, yeah, all right then, yeah, okay, yeah. Or you're on the phone and you suddenly go like, Slooby dooby doo. Rum bum badly dum. Boom 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 boom. Ooh. I mean, you don't do the noises obviously when you're on a telephone call or you're in a meeting or something, but in your head that is probably exactly what you're doing, and you just end up drawing a load of gobbledygook on your page. All right. So the prompt for the 22nd of February is a Zentangle Doodle. So as I've said, exactly the same with the mosaic. Draw yourself some boxes, practice doing some doodle patterns and keep those as a library. You might want to add those to your page. Draw yourself a simple shape like a heart or a leaf, doodle on it, see what you come up with. Or draw yourself a picture or print a picture off, because there's plenty on Google search and there's plenty on Pinterest and there's plenty of Zentangle websites and there's plenty of Zentangle colouring books that you could get a basic outline shape and then fill it with your own Zentangle doodling elements. Okay, the problem with buying a Zentangle colouring book is these elements are probably already done for you and all you've got to do is the colouring in. And this is the bit that I'm trying to kind of aim at to get you to do. Okay. Whew. That's it. I is done. So basically you've got now 2 prompts to work on. Keep, dipping in and out, going and doing a bit, leaving it, come back, doing a bit more. You need to do these 2 when you're in the right mind. There's no point forcing yourself to do it. There's no point rushing to do it, because you'll cock it up and you'll make a mess and then you'll be pigged off with yourself. Yeah, I need to go and get another brew because my voice is starting to go again. This is the only thing, when partly to do with I'm starting to get a little bit of a bad chest again, but also because I live on my own, I don't really talk during the day. So when I do get to talk, and I talk continuously, no one interrupting me. It's not the same as having a chat with someone, because they interject now and again, but when it's just me doing all the talking, it starts to go. Oh dear. Thanks, Rita. So I hope that's given you some ideas. Go and explore on YouTube and Pinterest for both of those prompts. See what inspiration you can get from them, or just use what you've got in your own mind, and if it takes you somewhere other than where the prompt has originally taken you, that's fine. If you don't want to do it, that's fine. It's your journal. Rock it as you want. Okay, let me take a slurp of this tea a minute, and then I can say goodbye to you all. I haven't seen everybody that's done it, but I know that some of you have been donating some pennies to me. So thank you very much. I didn't see who they were. I know that Tracy has made me a list, so I'll catch up with Tracy later. So thank you so much for your kindness. It really is very much appreciated. The next best thing that you can do for me is if you share some images of your own Rock Your Journal that you've been working on other groups or on your own Facebook page. Get the word out there what we've been doing, and hopefully some others will come along and come and have a look for themselves, or invite friends to join you to do it with you. Now, Hot Toddy won't cut the mustard and I can't drink alcohol. It's a breathing problem I've got, Maria. It's a health issue I've got. But thank you for the thought, though. So thank you so much, ladies. I don't think there's any gentlemen watching, but if there are, thank you to you too. And I shall see you all again tomorrow. Obviously, I'm not going to have these pages done, so I won't have anything to show you in terms of these projects today or yesterday's, because I'm going to go and put my feet up. Excuse me, going to go and put my feet up for the rest of this evening. So it's now 6:15, going to have something to eat, take myself off to bed to watch a movie. Enjoy the rest of your day, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me again, and I'll see you all again really, really soon. Ta-ra! Bye! Love you! Bye! Ta-ra! Thanks! Bye!